Coming to you live from Leisureland, as they call it in New Mexico, it's the 10 Point Podcast. My name is Bruce, and I'm going to take off my shoes. Getting small with me this week. First, the world needs arseholes. Otherwise, where would the shit go out? It's Andy.
And you don't, Alvin. As soon as that quote came off, I was like, that's me.
And secondly, always I see you stupid. Now I see you crazy too. It's Chris.
Oh, what? I thought you were going to get the fuck time. What, what kind of fuck am I?
What kind was it? Anyway, we'll come to
Dumb
that.
fuck.
We are the 10 Point Podcast. We we review movies. We remove movies on a weekly basis
How
throughout
much
the
do you have
entire
to drink?
calendar year. I've had zero baby shams, unlike you guys. 10 Point Podcast, that is us. 10pointpodcast.com is our website where you can find all of our episodic episodes in order and some bonus ones thrown in as well. We're hotly approaching episode 200 of this daft show that we've done on a weekly basis for 4 years now. You can find us everywhere you get podcasts. Spotify is the premium premier one that we like to advertise on here, but your Apples and your Amazons and your other ones get there too. Video versions on Spotify and the 10 Point broadcast of the podcast over
And
on
also,
YouTube.
Sean, leave an Apple review, you bell end.
Has he still not done an Apple
I don't think
review
so.
yet? It better be 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever it is. We should maybe be the kind of podcast, if ever we do get a Apple review on the podcast, we'll read it out on air so people
Yeah.
can put a
Well,
message.
Sean likes us talking about him because when he listens to us, we're in his head. Freaks him out.
Right, yeah. So, hi, Sean. I hope you enjoy this particular episode of the podcast, which we will get on to in a little bit. Social media things. I've rarely ever mentioned about Twitter and Facebook, but they exist. So you can approach us on Twitter and
I kind
Facebook,
of
10
forgot
Point
to
Podcast.
revolutionize the Facebook thing's gone away, but we'll get there
Yeah.
eventually.
We'll get there eventually.
Back in.
I check the Twitter for messages every so often, and nothing that isn't
Nobody seems
that
to care. We
interesting.
get a random knobhead that attacks us on YouTube and have to remove the comment. And then we get a bunch of Chinese spam. Other than that, would you seem to get our like kind of 100 odd loyalists every couple of weeks listening to
I know.
episodes? It doesn't make sense.
They listen.
They listen to random episodes.
It basically is. There's one or two ways to listen to the podcast. It's a book club where it's the film of the week, so you go to the way and you watch it. Or I have watched this film, be it Tank Girl, be it Interstellar,
And they
be
go
it
find a podcast, listen about
Inception, and then they go find our podcast and listen to it. So that's why the random ones, I guess, pops up every so often. Doesn't matter how you consume the 10 Point Podcast, we enjoy that you do. So before we get on to this week's episode, this week's book club, movie, what was everyone's highlight of the last week? I will start off because I think I'm the only one out to watch the cinematic event of the spring, which is Dune Part 2. I finally went to go see it, and it is absolutely stunning. It doesn't... I don't think it changes the game at all. Everyone's saying how this is revolutionary. Oh my God, this has never been done like this before. But it is grand, it is a spectacle, it is huge, it is massive. It's nearly all about Paul Atreides again, so everybody else gets about 10 minutes screen time combined. But it's Paul Atreides this, Paul Atreides that. Very good. I can't slag it at all. It's more action-packed than the first one. The first one was a lot of patter, 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 blah, blah, blah. There's been an attack, patter, 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 and then they killed off Jason Momoa. This one's a bit more action throughout the entire thing. But highly recommended. I don't think I'm as into it as the first one. The first one, I think, is more my cup of tea. But the second one has its moments.
Well, as Sean said, he doesn't believe... What did Sean say? He doesn't know how I like the film.
Oh, yeah.
The first one. And
right,
also
okay.
our reviews are way too high, apparently.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Some feedback from listeners. You're allowed... Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but we're allowed to tell them that they're wrong. Like,
Exactly.
June Part 2... What did you say, sorry?
Remember that Robert Pattinson fan?
The legendary Robert Pattinson fan, who you were praising Robert Pattinson, and they took issue with the method of which you praised him. But speaking of praising actors, Austin Butler is massively praised for his role in Dune Part 2. He's barely in it. And I don't know why everyone's
like the Joker from The Dark Knight. He like elevates that role.
He might do, but I mean, I think he has 4 scenes, maybe 3 scenes. He's barely in it. And I don't know why everyone's like, oh, if he doesn't get Oscar nominated, there's something wrong. It is a sensational performance. I mean, it's like, honestly, he is barely in the film. Like, he's probably in this one. He's in the film less than Oscar Isaac is in the first one. Definitely. He's not quite Zendaya. Like, there was no Zendaya in the first Dune. She's in this one a lot. Like, everything that was meant to be in they've moved it to this one. There's a lot of her, but it's nearly all still Paul Atreides and all that. But yes, I enjoyed my time at cinema. 3 hours and whatever minutes flew by. It does not feel like 3 hours. 2 hours and whatever flew by. Did not feel like it. Give it a thumbs up at least. I'll watch it again, but I'm not hurrying back to the cinema to watch it again. But big screen experience is very good for Dune Part 2.
I was going to go and watch it at a tiny little local Annan cinema, but it looked too small, and I was like, I can't be arsed going to Hamilton, so that's why I didn't bother watching it.
Didn't go and see. Yeah, I would recommend it, but have a nice big screen. Chris, what's your highlight of the past week?
I watched the latest episode of Halo. Right, Andrew, your turn. Do you know after like a banging episode, and then there's obviously that come down, like a palate cleanser. Yeah, that's all I'll say. The start of the episode is absolutely banging for 10 minutes, and then that's it. It just drops off a cliff. It's got nothing to do with fucking Halo World whatsoever.
I'm going to say, you need to update us every week. Have they reached a Halo yet? And it's like,
no,
Halo tracker still nil.
It's literally going to be. You've seen it in dreams and stuff. Spoilers, but it's literally going to be the very last bit of this season. I think they're going to step in it,
and then it'll get cancelled.
Yeah, the end.
But there's a lot of good TV coming out, so I did watch. I think I've mentioned it a couple of seasons ago. Resident Alien with Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah, you did mention. Yeah.
That's back, and that's back with a bang. They've kind of like 2 seasons, like the first season's brilliant. Second season's like, trying to find it. But third season, they mix this up, and it is batshit crazy. And Alan Tudyk deserves an Oscar for just how he acts. He plays
Austin Butler out, Alan Tudyk.
Yeah, he's criminal underrated.
He plays weird. He plays wonderful. Like I don't know if you guys have watched any episodes of it.
I'm aware of it, but I've never actually seen it. Yeah,
just the way he plays the character is just absolutely amazing. But yeah, season 3 is back with like a vengeance. I highly recommend that series.
Good. Well, there you go.
Pepperoni, it stinks, your belly. Oh, smell-o-vision.
On that note, let's get on with the 10-point podcast this week. Point number 1. What's the point? The point is the 2017 fantasy sci-fi drama Downsizing. I mean, fantasy sci-fi drama paints a Dune picture, it's like that, but it's Downsizing apparently. Fantasy sci-fi drama written by Jim Taylor, famous for writing Election, Jurassic Park 3 specifically, About Schmidt, and Sideways, and written and directed by Alexander Payne, who wrote and directed Election, Sideways, The Descendants, Nebraska, and was the director of The Holdovers, which is currently in cinemas, maybe just left cinemas. It's getting quite a bit of Oscar buzz and award season buzz. The film The Holdovers looks like it could be quite good. The film stars as Paul. I've now forgotten what his surname is. I forgot to write it down, but they get it wrong the entire way. Safranak. Or whatever it is they say. Safranak. Paul Safranak.
Safronic. That's it.
Safronic. But they say Safranak. Yeah, don't they?
Yeah,
but Paul, Matt Damon, who we have covered before. I think Dogma was the big episode we covered him. So we'll play the fun game of, can you guess what IMDb says he's famous for? You get 4 winning answers. What are the 4 things Matt Damon's famous for?
Good Will Hunting.
Yes, that is the first
Saving
one.
Private Ryan.
Incorrect.
What? Okay.
I mean, he's barely in that.
The Bourne.
No, not the Bournes. No.
What?
The Martian.
Yes.
Wow.
One more guess each.
Deadpool.
Nope.
The Monument Men.
No. The Talented Mr. Ripley, which I do not like, and The Departed, which I do like. I do like The Departed. He is famous for that. Second build as, I didn't write his name down, but I've got the cast here, Dusan Markovic, Christoph Waltz, who we also have covered on Inglourious Basterds. Not Inglourious Basterds, I've just spoiled that. Django Unchained, which is one of the things he's famous for, and Inglourious Basterds. Yes. What are the other 2? I give you 0 chance to get any of these that Christoph Waltz is famous for.
Spectre.
No.
Heath.
No, he isn't both of those. You're correct on both his answers. If you have no other answers, I'll tell you, because I don't think you'll get them. Carnage, which actually sounds quite good, but I've never seen it or even heard of it. And then the Zero Theorem, which I think I've seen posters for. But they're the Crystal Vaults, mainly the Tarantinos and the ones you mentioned. Third build, who doesn't show up in the film until like halfway through, as Ngok Lan Tran Hong Chow, who I won't play the Famous Four game.
Oh, I know,
unless
the whale.
The whale, you're right, that is one of the Famous Fours. But she was in, not on the Famous Four, but she was in the TV show Treme, which I watched a bit of, but I don't remember her for. And then Downsizing, which is one of the things she is famous for. She's in the Watchmen TV series, which I now, in researching it, I now recognise who she was, but completely forgot her. She's in a television show called Homecoming, and then in 2022 she was in The Whale and The Menu. She did them back to back.
Still not seen that.
Good, it is good. Yeah, it's got one of Andy's favourites in it. Who's also in June Part 2, funnily enough. Anyway, Hong Chow as Ngok Lan Tran. And fourth build as Audrey, Kristen Wiig, who we have not done before. What's she famous for? We'll play the Famous Four game with her. Bridesmaids, you are right.
Wonder Woman 84 or whatever it's called.
No, incorrect, no.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is not what she's famous for, but I've got that down as something she is famous for.
Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live? No, I thought Saturday Night Live would definitely be one, but it's not. What did you say, Chris?
MacGruber.
MacGruber, also not. These are all things I also wrote down that she's not famous for. Despicable Me, she's in all of them. She's also in The Martian, and then Downsizing. The one she is famous for, Bridesmaids, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which I think, Andy, you've seen. I haven't seen that. Something called The Skeleton Twins that she's in. And then Zoolander 2. Not Saturday Night Live, not Ghostbusters, not anything else that she's in. They are our main cast. Matt Damon, Christoph Waltz, Hong Chow, and Kristen Wiig. Many, many, many other famous faces pop up along the way that we will mention as we go through. The film Downsizing, on a budget, $68 million. It opened in North America to $5 million. Final North American gross, $24.5 million. Final worldwide, just $55 million. This film lost money.
Not very often we have a lost film.
The reason why I picked this film, it wasn't advertised at all well. And when they did advertise it, I got a completely different film from the trailer.
It's not what I thought it looked like it was going to be. And then Andy last week said, when I saw this film, I thought it was going to be this weird comedy thing. It's not that. And it's still not what I thought it was going to be, this film. This is not. And I can see kind of why they advertised it as they did, because that might have made more foot traffic coming into the cinemas to watch it.
I remember the trailer when it first came out. I remember saying, this looks absolutely fucking banging.
Yeah, I was like, Kirsten Wiig, Matt Damon doing a funny film with a small, this is my film. And I remember going to cinema and watching this going, that is not what I thought.
That's not what I've been advertised. Yeah, I've got a little bit in the points later on the subject, so I'll save my thoughts on that sort of thing. So yeah, lost money, definitely. Released 22nd of December 2017 in America, 24th of January 2018 in the UK, but a month later we got it over here. And that meant the 2018 awards season for Downsizing. The Oscars, not one mention or nomination. The Razzies, also nothing. The MTV Movie Awards, also nothing. But the Saturn Awards, one nomination at the Saturn Awards for Downsizing. Best Fantasy Film, which it lost to The Shape of Water. Yes, it was The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water year.
I'm fucking going shaggy Abe Sapien. That's bullshit.
Other awards, well, it only won one award, and it's one of them ones that's not really winning an award, but it did get nominated for a Golden Globe. Hong Chow got nominated for Best Supporting Actress in the Motion Picture category, and she lost to Alison Janney, I can't remember how you say her name, from I, Tonya, when she was playing Tonya Harding's mother in that film. I think she might have won the Oscar that year, I could be wrong. Synopsis for Downsizing, brought to us by Thesaurus Nick.
Oh, Jesus. God. That's going to be a good one.
And Nick says this is how the film goes. Much to the surprise of the global scientific community and the rest of the world, the Norwegian scientist Dr. Jørgen Asbjørnsen has perfected the intricate procedure of cellular reduction known as downsizing, the answer to the rapidly escalating problem of global warming and overpopulation. Ecstatic, the brave couple of Paul and Audrey Safranak decide to trade their ordinary lives for the alluring lifestyle of the rich and famous to do their part in New Mexico's impeccable, minuscule community called Leisureland Estates. However, even though a chance encounter with the shady entrepreneur and international playboy Dusan and the famous Vietnamese political activist Ngoc Lan paves way for the new experiences, the intrepid idealists, who are no taller than a few centimeters, realize that their problems remain insurmountable. Now, the future seems bleak. Is the good doctor's irreversible process the answer to all problems, or has he opened Pandora's box? Now, it felt like he was building up to saying the thing there, but then he said something else. Whatsoever. But he did say downsizing.
Nobody write an essay in this 200 words, and you just thesaurus everything to expand it. It's like that's what he's done.
I don't know why I had to say New Mexico's impeccable minuscule community. Why? I don't get it. Anyway, who picked downsizing? It was Andy. Andy, why did you pick downsizing?
Because it fits my theme. It's a film that I thought I'd put you guys through because, like I said, nobody's heard of this film. Like, they've kind of heard of it, then nobody's ever bothered to go and see it. And Sean said the same thing today. He's like, oh, that's a Matt Damon film. I've never seen it. So I feel like the world needs to see this film.
All right, okay, giving it some exposure. I had never seen it before. Chris, you had never seen it before. Andy, you only seen it the once before?
Right, just the cinema.
Just the cinema. And there's only one version of it, so we've all seen the absolute same version of the film. On to point 2. Quicker than ever. The high points, the best bits and things and all that about the film. Andy, why don't you take us through the high points, and Chris and I will chip in with our opinions.
I like the premise at the start. Like, so the whole, like, the reasoning for it.
Discovery.
Yeah, it's not like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I just realized this is the second time I picked a small film.
Yeah.
But that's just there, like, they don't really, like, it's just made a thing and it shrinks some people. Whereas this is like for a global thing, the guy's like, oh, look at this, I can do this, I can shrink a rat. And then you get the fast forward and it explains why they're doing it. And everything's very logical of why this works.
They make it seem like a great idea and actual plausible.
Yeah.
I really like the presentation they make in the kind of the study lecture room sort of thing. It's really well done. There's like, oh, here's the guy in the box. He's little, and the way that everyone's excited, and then the room starts filling up with more and more people. Like, this is big. What is it? It's the biggest thing to happen since man walking on the moon, maybe bigger. And it's like they do make it feel like that, and it's a really good framing of it at that point.
But it's like the one thing they kind of do, like especially at the start of this film, is like everything. Like I'm watching and going, I wonder like how this will work. And then literally 33 seconds later, it's like they explain it. It's like, you've got all this wealth. It shrink it down. You've like got more wealth. It makes perfect sense. But then I was like, well, why are they paying less tax? Yeah, they've got less space. And then you get the guy, he explains.
The bar.
And it's like every single point that I could pick up on of like being a flaw, they explain very well at the start of this film.
Even when they're doing the interview with not the interview, like the woman who's showing them the brochure.
Yeah.
And they're like, if this is so good, why aren't you doing it? And she's like, my husband's got an artificial hip.
That was my low point until she answered the question. And I was just like, well, Audrey literally just asked the question, why is not everybody doing this? And then she's like, well, you can if they've got bits wrong with their bodies and stuff.
And it's like literally it does a really good job when you're just thinking, going, wait there. And it's like, nope, they explain that all very quickly.
Can I ask one clarification? When it comes to the teeth, I know you could add the hair on. They all got all the hair shorn off.
Yeah.
The teeth. Was it just teeth that had fillings, or was it all teeth because they wouldn't shrink? Because I couldn't work out if it was
all fillings.
That because Jade asked me, "Is like, would you ever do that?" And I'm like, I'm concerned about the fillings. I think all of my teeth have a filling in them one way or another. And I don't really want to have all my teeth pulled out.
That's my next point, is the actual process of downsizing. I thought that was satisfying as well.
Yeah, exactly. But except I couldn't work out the hair thing. So if the teeth do shrink, doesn't the hair also shrink? And presumably that's why they had them all cut off.
See, I've got like questions about this. Like later on, when they get to the old colony, the colony, they've got like sheep and dogs and horses. Did they shave them bald?
Must have done, yeah.
Like at least 2 of them, and then just breed them. Or what? Like
must have.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, must have been. Yeah, like I say, maybe just like Noah's Ark style, like 2 of each, and then like completely shaved them of everything. And
in theory, hair is dead, so yeah, it kind of makes sense.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Before you go on to the downsizing process, Chris, at this point, just before that, I've actually got 20 minutes at the film marked in my notes, and it's like. And like you'll see where my mind is. I'm not altered this at all. 20 minutes in, the anticipation of all the things that will go wrong is great at this point. Like Audrey's still there, and we're doing it, and I'm like, everything is rosy, everything is great. Everybody who's done it is saying how good it is. Everything is a positive, and I'm like I don't want to think deeply about what could go wrong. Because so far, like Chris said, there's an answer for it. There's an answer. There's an answer. There's a solution. There's an answer. And it's like you get the feeling at the 20-minute mark that the grass is not going to be greener on the other side. And the fact that I don't know if I saw the trailer for definite, and if I did, I don't remember anything in the trailer that happens beyond here's Matt Damon, here's the wife, they're going to get small because the palace will. Like, I genuinely did not know what was going to happen upon Matt Damon becoming that size, and I'm like, it's the anticipate. I was giddy with. I don't know what is going to happen, and then we get the Neil Patrick Harris and Laura Dern selling them like the house that's behind you guys at the moment, selling them that house, and I'm like, it's so fake and it's so overproduced, and it's just like,
I've got that as a low point. I hate things like that.
Right, yeah.
It's horrible.
Love marketing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's so over. It's like it feels so much like it's like I don't know, the Truman Show, the Stepford Wives. It's just like they're trying to get you to come into the cult, and everything is so good on this side. Like, I can't wait to see what goes wrong. Which even that's like not even half an hour of the film. That's what I think is going to be happening in this film, and that's not where the film goes. The film doesn't go that direction.
When they're just before they do it, and they're talking to the lady with the video camera saying, are you aware there's a however much % chance that you could be maimed or hurt or die? And I was like, oh, this is different.
Yeah,
you know what's going to happen now.
At that point, I went to Dead Man Walking and put Kristen Wiig in Dead Man Walking. I was sure at that point, I see what's going to happen. She's going to die, and he's going to be stuck in there on his own. And even then, that's not exactly where it goes. I was kind of on the right lines, but that's
I do love the twist. I love the twist.
It's a good twist. It is.
Carry
on, Chris. I cut you off.
Just like the thing, like when he's done his shrinking thing, he gets there, he gets the phone call, and it's just like even like it builds more. It's like, oh, she must be stuck in dental, and it's just like then he comes back, and you get a little joke with a big massive cracker and stuff like that.
The cracker,
the synchronization of them just all walking at the same time, everybody getting shaved, blah blah blah, and then.
Oh, that's great. It's really good.
The little metal spatulas.
Yeah.
The scene when they put them through the door, and then suddenly it's like you get like the big woman there, and it's like, oh, that's the small people who take over. It's such a well done scene, and then just the twist that you just get that she freaked out, and it's just there with her shaved eyebrows and stuff.
Yeah, no eyebrow and no hair. I couldn't do it. Yeah, that's a great scene. Actually, I think I've got that as one of my backgrounds if I can find it. But yeah, at that point, I'm thinking when the nurse is coming in, I was thinking that, oh God, she's going to be dead somewhere. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry this happened to you, but yeah, we can't fix it. She's gone. But then when you find out that she's just by choice. Yeah. Very much Nightmare Fuel. I thought Bald Timothy Oliphant was bad. This is worse, I think.
It's the eyebrows. I don't like no eyebrows. It freaks me out.
Yes. It looks like something out of June, actually. It's fit very well. But yeah, when like the scene with him on the phone, her on the other end, and him like that's the other thing about this film. There is no swearing in this film until he absolutely drops a loud F-bomb on the phone, and that's when the film is turned. And I'm like, here we go. Right, the grass isn't greener, the shit's at the fan. This is going to be a shambles from now on. And again, it's not where the film goes. This film is not what I thought it was going to be. I have a giant gap now without any high points, so fire away until we meet.
I've only really got the kind of like the kind of set pieces, like just the little funny things, like when he gets the big house, and then some like the people turn up with the rings and just carry in the rings.
Before that, in the shower, when the guy's warning him, oh, by the way, everything's hot. It's hot dairy. He just literally steps in.
Yeah, I like that. I like the theory behind the dairy. Like, go easy on the milk and the cheese, because like the bacteria is like going to be massive compared to you.
And it's just like all that kind of thing works, but like there are like the big things that are like small. Like it comes up later on, like best product placement. Just like they get these big things, and like there's the subtleties throughout the film. I just love all. Because it's not all the time. It's just like, oh, that could just be a normal house. Then it just nowhere it's like, oh, there's this big massive thing. And I just love that kind of thing.
It is good.
I'm not got a high point until Dustin's party when
on your
off his tits. He's just like obviously he's like he must feel like he's been born or something like that. And he's like, do you know what? I live life on the edge. And he takes a little. The blue pathos,
whatever it is, yeah,
exactly. And then you see him slowly just meandering through people, just like, I'm gonna take my shoes off.
I'm gonna take my shoes off, and then
Slowly
next scene barefoot.
dancing like that.
Yeah.
And then
Very good.
when he's on the dance floor, you see Christoph Waltz. That's like Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah.
It's like, hello.
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
I've got the party as a low point.
Oh, you dick.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna. But it's more because I don't. I mean, I get the idea. Obviously, he's trying, and he was trying to replace Audrey, and he's found this other nice single mother. Like, and all he's asking.
Yeah, that's a low point.
Yeah, all he's asking for is, can I meet the son, and can we move forward with this? And she's like, no, and he just snaps. He's like, right, I've got a perfect chance now to just do whatever the hell I want, and he goes and just does whatever the hell he wants. But yeah, I thought the party went on a bit long. It was a bit unnecessary, and I'm like,
I get that bit, but
he just could have made friends with Dusan rather than having to go through like the 10 minutes of the party. But then, I suppose you did need the cleaning crew coming in.
Well, this is like when she comes in, this is like, I didn't expect her to be funny, but just everything she did was just funny, but not being funny at the same time.
I've not watched a film that an actor has hit like a hurricane as much as Hong Chow hits this film.
Yeah.
Like, I was sure she's going to be like, oh, she's this poor soul. She's either this poor soul that he's going to have to rescue, or she's like this terrorist or whatever that's like trying to do something evil, and he's going to have to try and catch her and get the authorities onto her. I didn't expect it to be this, I don't know, this ball of like Vietnam / she sounded really southern, like a real kind of cowboy kind of accent coming in, and just the way she said, I can't do it justice, the way she says every single line she says in the film is just unbelievable. And Hong Chow steals the second half of this film that she wasn't even in the first half.
Very much needed at this point. And it's just like anything, like basically most of my high points are her in the scenes. It's just like, right, he's been like whipped, he wants to go and help, and then it's just like the long scene where it's like it's on the bus and he goes away and he's like past the edge. It's like it drags on and on just for the punchline of just like, oh yeah, fix her, give her tablets.
yeah.
And then it's like, right, done, go now.
You can go now. Yeah.
When she I said, well, give her 2. Yeah. Just give her 2. I'll be fine.
A lot of pain.
These are old. I give her 4.
Yeah. And then the scene like 2 minutes later where it's like, oh, died.
Back. I gave her too many pills.
But
she's dead. I think I gave her too many. Yeah.
With a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like every scene that she's in is just brilliant. And then even like when Matt Damon's actually trying to fix the foot, and it's just the long thing, she's talking, doing her thing, and it falls apart. And then it's like, and then you get 10 minutes of just him carrying her around, doing other things. But yeah, she's literally just randomly needed in this film out of nowhere.
I know, and it's like I did not know she was coming. I don't know. I was not expecting this, and I was not like I don't know. I don't really know her. Like I say, what she was in, I don't really know her from those things, and her coming in just absolutely just takes over this film out of nowhere. It's unbelievable.
I like the plan that backfired. Let's say, right, we'll take you to the Norwegian colony, and you'll get away from her. And she's like, I go with you.
Yeah,
yeah.
With you. And then that fucking heart-wrenching story of why she's never been in
that scene. She's unbelievable. That's her, like that should have been her Oscar speech then, was that. She's incredible in that speech about getting these invites to Norway. It is unbelievable how good she is at that point. You're right, Chris, sorry.
So yeah, like that scene's like probably a movie stealer. And you just see them three just like, fuck.
Yeah. She's actually famous, and like he wants to Jorn, whatever you call him, Jorn, wants to actually see her.
The thing is, of course, I never got the impression that Paul like wanted away from her necessarily. Like I feel like he wanted to do good and he wanted to help. So him sitting there kind of like sheepishly at that bit where that, and then I am going to take Paul and we are really needed over in Norway, and him being all kind of like as if I want to get away from you and I can't look you in the eye. I didn't ever get the impression. I felt like he was happy to help her and he was like, yeah, I want to do good. But yeah, unbelievable. I've only got the one more high point, so what else have you guys got?
I've got a small one. Like after the fuck.
The fuck.
And then just walking past in the morning and you see Dusan just sitting out that
Just he knows. He's like, I know, and you know that I know, and I'm not
He
going to
just
say
doesn't
anything.
stop. He just keeps watching him with that
Yeah.
like, grin in his face.
The whole scene going on, and Christoph Waltz is just like, grinning.
Like the whole boat thing, I actually quite like how subtle it was because like the water moves completely differently as well.
It does, yeah.
And it just like, oh, they're tiny and it's taking forever, and like the wave kind of like is going different. Luckily, it's calm water, rather than like massive
Okay.
waves going up and down.
I was going to say, I don't know what the plan is when there's like winds. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
Also,
yeah,
am I crazy, or were they on a boat? And then all of a sudden, here's like the main doctor dude and his wife are also then on the boat, and then Matt
Yeah,
Damon's being introduced to them.
yeah, they got a little tugboat. Yeah, that was the
Right, so they must have driven up when he was
Aye.
busy.
It's weird that they met him in the middle of the fjord.
Yeah, that was a bit unusual.
Excuse me.
But yeah, the eight types scene, I'll call it the eight types scene, is probably, I think it's the scene that will transcend. It's probably the clip that everyone takes out when
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I don't know where, I don't know when, but I've seen the weeks, just like must have been last week before I actually watched this film. As in, what kind of fuck you give me? I was like, why have I seen this before?
Yeah. But yeah, I imagine that's been taken out of this film because that's kind of evergreen that can be used in many different contexts. It's a great scene as well, and of course it has Hong Chow in it again because she's sensational. Any other high points? I'm spent.
I've got one. Is the build up to the cave exploding? They're locking us up. It's like
it's incredible.
Like, I need my case. In case no, it's going to blow up and run, and it's this tiny little
yeah,
like big massive boom, and this whole cave to come down.
It's just one little bit as well.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even. Yeah, really good. Good setup. Yeah, good setup and execution. Point 3 then, the low points, the worst bits and things about the film. Spoiler, I don't have much at all, and I've already mentioned the party. So
right, I've got one overlying low point. I watched the trailer, and this was meant to be a laugh out loud comedy. Now don't get me wrong, like she was funny. It was funny. It was definitely a different type of movie, but it wasn't a laugh out loud comedy. And anytime I see Kirsten Wiig, I just think, right, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
Not that funny, but she's always in funny things.
She's not really. She only is funny on the phone. Kristen Wiig. At the rest of the time, she's plays it very
Jason
straight.
Sudeikis as well. He's funny. You got Neil Patrick Harris. He's a funny person. Like Matt Damon, he could do funny. Not one of these people do funny in this, except from what do you call her?
Hong Chow.
Hong Chow.
Hong Chow, yeah. Hong Chow. And I guess Dusan, I think Christoph Waltz he's going for charismatic, funny as well.
Since you mentioned Audrey, I was disappointed there wasn't like an outcome to that.
Yeah.
I was hoping there was going to be like another reunion, and like Matt Damon and Hong Chow were like, called Paul and like Ngok Lian.
Ngok Lan Tran is a whole name.
Like appear there, and her life's got to shit, and his has actually gone really well since she's got the divorce and stuff like that.
Right,
something like that, but that's it. It's gone. The divorce is done. We never hear about her again.
I feel like, look, from what I could work out, it was more of a case of like he has to move on. Like he cannot go back. Like they say quite a lot at the beginning. It's irreversible, and it's like she's not doing it, and you have done it. Therefore, you're just going to have to let it go.
She picked everything. He's like, I just want you to be happy. And she's like, oh, I'll have this one. I'll have this one, and then she just backs out of it because she lost a fucking eyebrow.
He's suddenly shave an eyebrow, and they all freak out.
Just the one as well. It was only halfway through, and she ran. My low point around that time is the giant dental surgery room. I did not like that whatsoever because I was already thinking I can't do this because I've got fillings everywhere, and then to see like 40, 50 dentists all pulling people's teeth out all at the same time with like 20 odd to 30 drills all going in the background. I was like, no, make it stop. It's like a horror film at that point. That's my low point. I have barely anything but
I've got one
that, so.
overlying one is after Paul gets small, we very rarely see any big and small interaction. It's literally a normal movie. You have got no idea he's shrunk until he picks up a rose or.
But that's what I was saying. Like, it's the subtleties, the tiny little things. Like every scene has something. It's like, oh, that's a big thing.
And there's, I don't know. It's just, like again in the fjord, like it's just a guy in a boat. You've got like
there was a big battle of fucking vodka and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't see that every time. You just see him and then walk about in a boat. You don't know it's shrunk.
But the water looks different.
This film exists. It's called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You can go watch that film, Chris. Like this is a different film.
Not enough like big and small interaction for me.
Right. Okay. I don't, see, they weren't playing it for laughs. Like we found that out the hard way. This wasn't being played for laughs.
Yeah.
It became like I did like the fact that it was. Oh, here we go. We're going a bit thin. Here's the story of the film, or needed over in Norway, which I think is a cover story. And then you get there, it's like, oh no, they actually were needed. They had to smuggle whatever it is they're doing, all of this stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, the big people, yeah, the big people who have not been in this film for an hour now, they've still wrecked the planet, and we're just going to hide in this mountain for the rest of time. It's quite a good twist ending. I don't know if it didn't get enough to get a high point clearly, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really come up with much about other low point. The pacing of the film is quite weird, but I don't know if it's
that's definitely what I would say. It's just it's almost like 4 different films. You've got the start where it's like, right, we're gonna get small, and then you get small, and then it's like, right, you got a twist that she's thingy, and then he kind of lives a little normal life, and then suddenly it all goes to shit. It's like, all right, here we go. But then that doesn't actually thing. That's not the
yeah.
And then they go away to Norway, and it's like, there's a completely different story here.
Yeah.
He's changed again. And it's just like he's turned into like a hippie, and then suddenly not back to normal.
That the old colony part was really boring. This like the film just plummeted.
Yeah,
the explanation of like the vault and what was inside the vault, and then all the different houses.
It just dragged on too long.
A wee bit. It was a wee bit too much at the end. Yeah. Any other lows? Because I've run out. Okay, we're moving on quickly here. At point 4. The stats on downsizing. No shits whatsoever through the entirety of the film. Not one time does anyone say shit. But there are 24 F-bombs, and most of them are in the 8 types scene where they keep rattling them. I did have to pause and go back and start counting with my fingers and all that sort of stuff. And there is one explosion, and it's the one that Chris mentioned. that is the one explosion when the rocks explode at the end. And one death. Only Gladys, the one you mentioned as well, who was fed an overdose of pain medication. She's the only person that dies in the film. They talk about the person dying when they got shrunk, but they had a gold tooth in their head, or was it? And it made it explode. But that didn't happen.
To see, like, and then like the mass shrunk, and I want to see like I don't know, sort of red splatter.
One body just beef.
Missed something like a hair, strand of hair or something.
I did think that like when they had was it 1 in 200 and something thousand chance of dying or having something. I was like there's quite a lot of people around there. Like one of them could like be the one. It's not outside possibility. Cows. There were 5 on the screens in the vault, and then 2 goats on their way into the vault. So we got cows and goats. Dead animal. I think all animals survived that were knocking around.
There's one bird.
Oh, you're right. There's a dead bird
on top of the wee net.
No,
you're right, because we don't have the services to get rid of it. Bird. And no pedophiles. I think we're safe from them in this one. Tom Cruise, Tackleberry, Sarah Connor trifecta. I thought there was a chance of this one coming up in this one, but I don't think he doesn't ride a bike at any point. Matt Damon in the film, boats and cars and otherwise.
Movie with a motorbike. It's ludicrous.
I know. We should start getting some more. And did they say the thing? Did they say downsizing?
Yes.
12 times.
8 times in this one, but quite a lot. It stops for a while. They don't really talk about it after. Pretty much once they're in there, they don't really say it that often. It's like maybe once more, and it's all beforehand. Chris, any stats from you?
I struggled. Like I was going to count like big things that were small or something like that, but then there was too many. And then there's only one person outside of the shrinkage area that we see with like a newbie like Paul. And it's him. Like, you don't see anybody else bald and no eyebrows.
That's a good point. Yeah, he seems to be the only new guy. Like, I guess it's to help the isolation, like the feeling of he's alone because she's abandoned him. And the only other stats I would have been, I think it's 48 minutes till Christoph Waltz shows up, and then it's an hour until Hong Chow shows up.
I had no idea he was in it. Until
I would not have known had Andy not mentioned him last week, which stuck in my head. But Hong Chow being third build. Yeah, Hong Chow being third build and she's not in the film, which is, I guess, her photographs on the TV when the news story's happening. Andy, do you have a fun fact about downsizing?
I've got 2 fun facts. I'll throw one here. I'll just throw Chris off. I don't think we could pick a film with more penises in this than it.
I was thinking that. Yeah. I think this might be the most naked men ever.
Shots there.
I reckon this could be the most penises we ever review in a film.
Yeah.
Because
I think you're probably right. Yeah, definitely a lot.
But my only other fun fact is Reese Witherspoon was meant to be Kirsten Wiig.
All right, okay.
She'd worked with the directors before.
I could see how that would work, yeah. I've got a fun fact, and this is literally just a fun fact. In Norway, they actually have the Global Seed Vault, located in the Svalbard archipelago, close to the North Pole, wherein seeds for almost every plant on Earth is stored in a subterranean vault, protected from all disasters, natural and man-made. There you go. So these sort of vaults technically do exist. Point 5 on the podcast is the 10-point podcast quiz. Andy, you are our quiz master. Take it away.
Right.
This is not Dinkle and Dinklage 2, but disappointed.
Well, I was going to do Dinkle or Dinklage 2, and then I thought, right, this is where my thought train went. I was like, Dinkle, no, he's not in it. I know. Bigger or smaller than Matt Damon's penis. And I thought, fuck it. I thought that is exactly it. So basically what I decided to do was basically this. It was a rash decision to shrink yourself, wasn't it? We could all agree.
Yeah, well, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So basically what we're going to do is we've done it before. Chris absolutely failed at this.
Right.
It's initial reaction.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to give you some initials, and you've got to tell me a famous person and what they're famous for. Now, to help you out, I'm going to randomly pick people from this film's initials, so you cannot use them. So, aka, if I say MD,
I can't say Matt Damon.
You can't say Matt Damon. You have to say something
So
else.
everybody in this film is not allowed. Is that
Right.
Right. No one is, because we did it on the. Did we not do this on the what do you call it episode? The Shanghai Noon.
Yeah.
And both of us were like, when JC comes up, say Jackie Chan. And JC came up and we didn't say Jackie Chan.
So,
right, okay.
We're going to do it again. So, like, basically, rash decisions.
Rash decision, and Downsizing is out.
And so basically any of the actors in Downsizing you cannot use, okay? And it is fastest finger first.
Right, so we have to say them, right, okay.
So just shout out.
Shout out.
Give me one straight away.
Shout out, let me know.
So we'll start off with MD.
Can it be from anything? Like, there's no.
It's not, yeah, right. Well, they're famous, and you can.
How about Mark Duplass? Mark Duplass. He was in The League, because I recently watched a bit of The League, and I saw Mark Duplass. Yep, he's the brown-haired guy, Mark Duplass.
I'll give you it. Right, that's one to Bruce. Come on, Chris. He's panicking already. Right. HC.
Hayden Christensen.
Nailed it. He nailed it. CW.
Can't do him.
CW.
Charlie Webb, Everdeen.
Charlie. No, I need somebody more famous than him.
Oh, fuck.
CW.
CW.
Is Constance Wu, is she an actress? I feel like she's an actress.
I don't know. You gotta tell me what's from.
Oh, I'd have to Google it. I don't know what she's in.
No,
right, I know the name.
CW.
She might be in
CW.
CW. Nope, that's not W.
No, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Okay, obviously that was Christopher Waltz.
Okay. Well, you said we can't use
him.
No,
yeah.
Example,
I got why. Yeah, I got why you use him.
JS.
Jennifer Saunders?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Who's looking at the example of what she's famous for?
Doesn't need it. I know who that is. LD.
Oh, fuck.
He jumped.
Go on, you keep shouting, Chris.
LD. All I've got is Lord Dern stuck in my head. I can't think of anybody else there.
Stop saying Lord Dern. All I can think of is Lord Dern as well. Now.
I know.
Lord
I can't think of anybody else than that there.
Come on. Anybody?
No, that's a difficult one to me.
Okay, right. We'll move on.
I mean, so you don't have the other answers. It is just people.
I'm just going by what they've got. I'm sure there's other ones out there. People are playing along.
I'm sure. Imagine there isn't. There's not a single other actress with the initials LD or actor.
Right. KW. I know exactly where Chris's head's gone. He's stuck at it again.
I've got a 3-point lead here. I can just coast. I don't have to think too hard. A-W.
No.
See, I've got Christopher
No.
Walken, but it's C.
I keep getting the first name and then no surnames fit. I'm like, oh, that's a different first name. Oh, Adam, but no. And like, oh, Alan, no.
Right.
And I get
Well, KW. Oh no.
We'll go for a different. We'll go for a bit easier. PR.
Peter Rabbit.
But Paul Rudd.
All right, Bruce gets it.
Peter Rabbit.
Fucking stupid answers in my head. Like Peter Rabbit is the first thing popped in my head.
A couple more. MM.
Michael Madsen.
Yep.
I had Michael Moore.
Shout it. That would have worked.
But he's not an actor.
He's not an actor. He's the writer.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I know where he's from. He's famous.
And involved in famous people with him.
Two more. BB.
I can't get Kill Bill at my head now because the character called BB in that.
I've got Barbie Blank, who's a fucking wrestler.
I've got Boris Becker, who's a tennis player.
Famous. I'll take that. Boris Becker.
I mean, I've got
Barbie Blank.
a 5-point lead.
And last one. EB.
I'm just going to let Chris get this one. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I'm not even thinking.
EB.
I'll start thinking.
EB.
No.
There's
I
loads
can't
of
think of
EBs.
AB. I can't think of any.
There's loads of ABs.
Alex Borstein.
Who's that?
She's
that's
voice and Family Guy.
Yeah, it's Lois in Family Guy, I think.
Yeah.
What about Adam
I'll do.
Baldwin?
Adam Baldwin, yeah.
Alec Baldwin. Now he's like, I've got one. Fucking all come out the woodwork now.
You could have had Alec Baldwin. He's in Downsizing. Ah, right.
He was.
Alec Baldwin.
Was he fucked?
He was.
Alec, was he?
Aye.
Where the fuck was he in this?
He was in Downsizing.
Which bit?
I went through the whole fucking cast. He is not in Downsizing.
Yeah, he is.
He's not in it. I'm not having that. He's not down. What scene is he in?
I don't know, but he's on the list I've got right here.
Sure it's this.
Aye.
There's a different thing called.
The fucking podcast has
Downsizing.
come to a halt now. We're like,
I'm positive.
anyway.
Alec,
Bruce dominates
If
once again because Chris.
I did dominate. I can't see Alec Baldwin anywhere on IMDb, and
See,
also
I had
he wasn't
fucking
in
movie
it.
stars in my head. He was picking tennis players who
Yeah.
weren't in movies.
Doesn't matter. They're news people.
Did AI do this again? Did AI think that Alec Baldwin was in the film?
Right, he's angry, so it's fine. Move on.
I won, regardless of whether Alec Baldwin was in or not. I still win, I think. Chris, movies
Alec
and then
Baldwin,
movies.
not Adam.
Or whichever Baldwin. None. There were exactly 0 Baldwins in this.
Exactly.
No, there was a Baldwin. Look.
Right, you search for that. Well, Chris does the
This
10-point
AI
podcast
again.
universe.
No, your AI is fucked. What was that, Bruce?
Look.
10-point podcast universe, please.
Hold on, we're fixing. Aye.
None of them are in it.
Aye, they are.
His name might be mentioned, but he's not in the film.
They're all in the cast.
Baloney. Sorry, Bruce.
That's okay.
Multiverse.
The multiverse. The multiverse, yeah.
So, out of nowhere, Joaquim de Almeida at the start, who's a conference director, he was in Fast X as Hernan Reyes.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't get him. I didn't go too deep into the cast this time.
I just did recognize. I recognize his face. I thought he was.
I do have one. I've got one 10-point podcast, super duper one that I'm going to save.
I've got
but,
two Hall of Famers in here.
Me too.
Don
Potential.
Lake as Matt. He was in Terminator 2. He was
Terminator
the
2, yeah.
Foster Parents are dead. Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, the Foster Parents are dead. Kerry Kenny, who was Kirsten, she was the date. She was in Wet Hot American Summer as Paco's wife.
Oh, really? I didn't get her. I didn't get a check on that for her. It didn't mark up for me. So
Laura Dern was obviously in Jurassic Park. James Vanderbeek out of nowhere.
Vanderbeek.
James Silent Bob
Back to back.
back to back Andy picks.
You seen that coming?
Sadakis was in Semi Pro as a natural fan. Udo Kier has not been in it since fucking the first episode?
Blade, the first
Blade,
episode of the
the first.
podcast. Yeah, it's got one of them faces. I recognise him as well. I could not have told you what he was in, but it was Blade. Yeah,
and Kristen Wiig was also in Semi Pro.
Semi-pro.
I swear we've done Christoph Waltz more than Django.
I thought so as well, but nope, that's it. I've just got Django as well. It's only Django.
So Hall of Famers: Neil Patrick Harris, Gone Girl and Starship Troopers,
I think this is a big shout for Neil Patrick because Gone Girl and Starship Troopers were big Neil Patrick Harris like appearances. So I think
cameoed as himself.
Yes.
What in this?
Aye.
No, it's called Jeff.
Nah, it's not Patrick Harris.
Just making shit up now. Matt Damon was also Hall of Fame eligible now. In fact, he
already was, yeah.
Dogma, Jane Silent Bob, and Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
So he's up to 4 now. So he's
and he's a favorite as well. We like Matt Damon. You missed.
I think
Margot. Yeah, okay. You haven't mentioned Margot Martindale, who is the friendly small woman on the bus or the train that was shouting at them, "Oh, are you going to be small soon?" That woman, because she's in everything. You recognize her face.
Yeah, she was in
Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Cocaine Bear. We've not done that, but she's in that. But she was in Beautiful Creatures, so we've done her before. She was in. Yeah, she was in Beautiful Creatures. Yeah.
I knew, like I recognise her face, but I didn't realise we'd actually done her.
Yeah, we've done her on that one before. And then the one that I was like, that's a belter of a 10-point podcast one. Mary Kay Place is her name. She played the customer on the phone when Matt Damon basically gets the sack. It was like when he starts arguing with the customer. She was in Being John Malkovich, and she played Dr. Lester's secretary in Being John Malkovich. Flores, the one that he's very, very flirty with, the guy who has the door initially. I thought that's a belter of a crossover. This film is great for people having one scene. Like there's people everywhere. Like Margot Martindale, she's in about a million things, and she's this big on the screen, and it's like has one scene on a bus, just being like a friendly passenger.
Yeah, actually.
But even Jason Sudeikis is like 2 scenes.
Yeah, 2 scenes for him. Neil Patrick Harris, 1 scene. Laura Dern, 1 scene. I'm trying to think who else is barely in the film. Even Kristen Wiig's barely in it. But yeah, there's it's quite good for that. Have you recast 3 of us into roles in the film?
So I put myself as Paul. I feel like I'm Paul.
Yeah, I did that as well.
I'm a bit of a meltdown. Andy was a bought hair away from being the guy at the bar. Who loses his shit.
Right. Oh yeah.
But then I put him as Dusan because Dusan's a guy who knows how to get stuff.
Yeah, that as well.
Does. And just to complete the trifecta, I put you as Conrad.
Oh my Conrad, I've got the boat, have I? Thank you very much. I did myself as Don Lake because I quite liked him.
I had you as him.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, he's too obscure, so I just put you as Conrad because he makes a couple of appearances.
The 3 of us will be on the boat together, that's fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very good. I didn't really pick up any references this film made. And then I did a quick look on IMDb, and they mentioned the only reference this film makes is Full Metal Jacket, because they get their heads shaved basically the same way as they do in Full Metal Jacket. And it also means there's no Wizard of Oz references flagged on there, and nothing jumped out at me either. It feels like a sort of film there'd be some sort of Wizard of Oz kind of passing, like you're not in Kansas anymore, you're tiny in Leisureland. Like I thought it would be, but no.
After I've hit 3 in a row, we've had none.
Yeah. And then no one died because of water, despite the fact that they could have done. How wasn't the rain massive? I don't understand how the rain wasn't like. So, but then, like, if you ever stand under a net, big drips still fall down. It doesn't change the shape and size of the drips.
I think it's a special net.
Right, maybe a special rain net that they found. Anyway, that was my one nitpick. What a joke. Could the film have come out in 1995? Yes, it could have done. I'm seeing visions of the Truman Show mixed with this being a sort of. I feel like it would be a bit more. These people are shrunk and don't know it. Jim Carrey being the main guy also, but I don't know if he was. 1995 Jim Carrey was a different to like late 90s Jim Carrey. He was very comedy mask Ace Ventura at that time, but that's all I could see. Dead Man Walking. I had Kristen Wiig. I was sure she was going to die in the process, but other than that, I don't think anyone else is definitely a certainty to die at any point. I guess inevitably they all are the way it's going, but I can't think of any.
Oh,
and who's
little Ronnie? He's a pass it on to them all.
And the way he's living his life is, yeah, he's definitely going the wrong way. Who's in the wrong movie? Laura Dern's in the wrong movie. She should be just playing woman in bathtub for half a scene. Like I can't think of anything else. Everyone's cameos is really in the wrong movie. And the trope that needs to die, now I don't know if this is a trope, but I need to see it die, is why do they feel it necessary to show us the needle going in films? So they always do that kind of, oh yeah, here we go. And you can actually see the needle.
As soon as it happens, she's like, ugh.
Jade can't stand it. She like literally will like do that as well. But for me, I'm just like, I've seen it a million times now. I don't care. Okay, it's going in. Woo, well done. Like, I don't need to
Do your
see it every
job
time.
right.
I know. It's like, what other tropes need to die in this film?
Mine isn't really a movie trope, but trailers that paint a different film to what you're actually about to see.
Yeah, I'm with
It's a
you.
good one.
What about you, Andy?
Mine's is loving wife fucks over guy to make a story for the film.
Right, yeah, to leave the poor guy on his
Yeah.
own. Yeah, that happens a lot, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Point 7. That one thing. What is the one thing about downsizing? Andy, what's your one thing?
Old Matt Damon.
Old Matt Damon.
It exists.
What's it called? Eurotrip.
No, he's
Is
got
he
a
bald in that?
skinhead. Well, he's
No,
not.
it's pretty much what it is.
He's got fucking no eyebrows. That's nightmare fuel Matt Damon.
Mine's is basically the origin story to the Borrowers.
Yeah. No, I thought of that. Yeah.
It's just some people. That
I just think going small. I always remember this would be the film where they make big people small, and it's a premise that if anyone ever makes the same thing happen again, that's just like downsizing.
Yeah, I want a decent Borrower film.
Point 8. The nominations for the 10-Point Podcast Awards. Chris, take us through your nominations and we'll tell you when you're right and wrong.
So, best actor, I picked Matt Damon.
Nope.
I can only put Hong Chow in as best supporting.
Yeah, I put best supporting.
She wins best supporting. I don't know how anyone is going to defeat her at best supporting.
It was Christoph Waltz until she popped up and she just fucking destroyed.
I'll give Matt Damon. He does show
I think it's Matt Damon. I think he's good at he swings up and down and left and right quite a lot with his emotions in this one. But yeah, Hong Chow best supporting, unbelievable.
I think most underused is Kristen Wiig.
Right.
Underused. I went Jason Sudeikis, but you could tell me Kristen Wiig and I'm happy.
Apart from
Sudeikis is always vanilla. Kristen Wiig's normally like 110%. It's almost too much Kristen Wiig, but this was just like, actually, there's not enough of her.
It's like 20%. Yeah.
Yes.
Best badass I put in Gok Lan Tran.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, good.
She takes what she wants and she will tell you what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And lone survivor of the TV box.
The TV box, yeah. I've penciled in best accent for her because I don't know if it is her real voice or what she was doing with it, but I liked what she did with her accent in this film, so it's best accent.
Biggest bellend is Audrey.
Yep.
Audrey. Now, yes, I had Dusan in the spirit of Bellend because he owns being a Bellend. Like he knows I'm an arsehole and the world needs arseholes.
He's helping though.
Yeah, but I felt like that's more. No. Like, I mean, immediately it was like, I've never had an upstairs neighbor, but I've had an upstairs neighbor and we're doing a party. That's Bellend behavior. Yeah.
I mean, Audrey left her husband bald and militarized. So,
but is that her villain then? I don't know. I think that's verging from Bellend into villainy. I don't know. But yeah, okay, I'll give you Audrey. I just want Toussaint to get acknowledged.
My best inanimate object was the keepsake box that turned into a van back.
Actually, that works.
I hadn't thought of that.
This box on for ages, and I was like, all right. And then this van walks up with it on the back of it.
I did not put that together. You are right. Perfect. Yeah.
Best plan. I put Downsizing because I thought it looked like an absolute blast.
Is the vault a better plan?
Oh,
I don't know.
Locking yourself into anything is never going to work,
especially for 8,000 years.
Yeah.
Locking yourself into being small, then is that like?
No, because if everybody did it, then we'd take up so much little space. But I always this was the one thing that I always had an issue with this film is their ultimate goal was to downsize everybody. But we would have to keep a few big people to keep the predators away, like the animals, the big cockroaches.
You're right. There would always have to be big people. Yeah.
There would always have to be a few big people.
Well, yeah, because you can't downsize yourself because then you're locked in the thing and that's it, you're stuck. So there'd always have
the other thing they never really explained was they all in the small world they all ate the food that we get in the big world.
Yes.
So therefore, on what you're saying, Andy, if they want to have beef, they'd have to shrink down every cow, or do they still?
No, they farm cows. I start off with you were right, big cows, but then they made little cows.
One cow would feed that entire bit for years.
But then that's animals. You can shrink down animals. You couldn't do it with every kind of food. Could you do it to a potato? Could you shrink a seed down for a potato so the potato would grow small?
Yeah.
That's something that could be complicated. Yeah, I thought it could
I'm
be
just
difficult.
thinking like birds and shit like that. That's gonna like attack
Oh,
people.
definitely. Well, they said the birds didn't mind, didn't they? Over in Norway, they're like, the birds don't go for us.
Aye.
But I still think there'd be giant wasps and bees and all that
Aye.
everywhere. Like, you'd have to be very,
Cockroaches.
like,
Think of sandworms. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
imagine that fucking
And who knew this was an origin story for June as well? The world ends, the whole planet gets covered in sand, and then
Yeah,
the
we're
worms
actually
run the
like
place.
June, like they're not actually sandworms, they're like the normal stuff.
Normal worms, yeah.
People are small.
Best twist, I put Audrey then go through it because
Yes, or the end is nigh and the vault is there for the look after them. But I had Audrey didn't go through.
I've gone
as
Audrey
it-
because I didn't see that coming
Yeah.
when I watched
I
that.
didn't either. I thought she was dying and she was going to actually back out.
best special effects is when like they interact with something bigger, like Matt Damon carrying a massive flower or the guy carrying the gold rings and stuff.
I haven't bothered with best special effects.
Okay, I'll accept it. Oh.
No.
Best cameo: James Van Der Beek or Neil Patrick Harris.
Vanderbeek's funny, but I think Neil Patrick Harris is better.
I've got Patrick Harris.
See, I went for
Yeah.
Van Der Beek.
Van Der Beek's
Van Der
funny
Beek-
because I picked him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, in the context of the
Neil Patrick
yeah.
Harris. Or vice versa.
John, I went Laura Dern being in the bath
I've got
and then
Laura,
not coming
I've got
back
Laura
into
Dern
it.
as well.
Yeah,
She wouldn't have even been like in anything recently, like from then.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
She popped up.
Michael Pena Award is Lan Tran's emotional story about why
Yep.
she never visited.
Norway. Yeah, definitely.
Best entrance is Jason Sudeikis in the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, very good. Best exit is Paul coming out the vault at the end, and then the explosion going off just in time before the explosion goes off.
Best product placement, FedEx.
Nope.
I've got Olive Garden or Absolute Vodka.
Absolute vodka. It was Sriracha was there because I seen the big Sriracha bottle at the back as well. But then the Absolute bottle is in the it's getting thing, and then they use it later on.
Yeah. I had Olive Garden just because when he went to the Olive Garden, they had loads of bags, all said it, and it went right in front of the camera. And I was like,
But if I was in America, that cracker brand, whatever, the big massive cracker.
Yeah, the big cracker. Yeah, that may be it. Yeah.
But no, I think I say Absolute got 2 scenes.
Yeah, I'll say
Best. We did best cameo, didn't we? That was we argued that one because I feel like these crossovers. Neil Patrick Harris is what I had. Where did we get? There's one you missed. That was best team. Paul and Ngok Tran. They're the best team. They worked very well together, doing their stuff.
Yeah, cleaning business.
I've got a John Connors Ginger Pal. Surely it's
was Don Lake. I was thinking about because he explained all the things that were.
Surely it's but the milk. I should know. But Dusan, like he saved the day for Matt Damon. Basically, well, he would have saved the day had he taken the shot. I think unsung hero is like he breaks him out from the funk that he's in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they can't be the same thing. Like even John
Exactly.
Connor isn't a good guy.
That ginger guy was a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have many others. Worst hair, bald Matt Damon.
Yep.
Worst hair.
Nightmare fuel.
And worst plan is going small. The worst plan. I think it was quite a bad plan.
I think it's good. It's fucking genius.
I would do it.
Fair enough.
A heartbeat.
As long as I can.
You would do it, would you?
Like my Xbox and stuff like that.
I do. The exchange rate of 150,000 to 12 million was appealing to me. I'll say that.
Here's your best cameo: the BBC newscaster, the one that lives go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's your best cameo.
That's her, isn't it? Yeah. This is now her second most famous appearance on screen. I hadn't put that together. That is her. Any more?
No,
the product placement. Point 9. Moral of the story. What lesson were we supposed to learn from Downsizing? Chris is chomping at the bit to go.
Yeah, the thing you described, Andrew, or at the start, the world needs assholes.
Yeah, the world.
Shit come
out. Good point. That's why he's the unsung hero. The world needs them. I've gone for methane gas in the Antarctic will kill us all, is what I think the moral story is. And Andy, what's your moral story?
Small things make you rich.
They do. That's one thing. I always thought he was going to make I don't know. I still feel like his life, he's with Ngok Lan, but he doesn't really have it together. Like they're just going to be going around helping people for the rest of the time.
That's what I'd be living in the slums. my assets were not accumulated.
It was dirt.
Basically,
Right, point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Point 10 on the podcast is the 10-point rating. We rate the film out of 10. I've gone ABC, so Andy, you're first.
Like I said, if I rated this on the trailer, I'd be like, this is a film I want to see. Which I then went and seen the film, and I came out going, the fuck did I watch? Like, it is not what I expected, but nor did I hate it. And then watching it again, I completely forgot about most of the stuff again. I forgot about like, the 3 different stories. But yet I don't hate it. But yet I don't like it. But then I love the concept of the film. But then I hate bits of the film. So it's a 6.
A real existential 6 from Andy there.
It's a 6. It's almost halfway, but there's just something about it that deserves a 6.
Fair enough. I've only got written down here at the bottom here, just a unique film. Like, this film is unique because it feels like it's going to be something. It's not. Then it feels like it's going to do something, and it doesn't, and it goes a third way. And I can barely fault it with my stat. But like Andy said, there's something I can't give it a 10 out of 10. I can't give it a 9 out of 10. It's not that. But it's special. It's unique. So I've gone 7 out of 10 because it's nearly all good. Hong Chow coming in and just being incredible out of nowhere, just to entertain me no end. And everybody's good in it. Everyone's kind of funny in it. It's a few people popping up here and there that are, James Van Der Beek out of nowhere and all that. But yeah, 7 out of 10. Can barely fault it, but it's not quite something close to my heart. I can't be like, I love that film. But 7 out of 10. Chris.
Yeah, the first half of this film is absolutely great. It's like a completely different film. I like the downsizing process. I thought was quite satisfying, and I enjoyed that. And if it carried on like that, I was heading towards an 8. But then, like the second half, just it seemed to drop, and there was a lot of boring bits. I liked Hong Chow. I thought she was really funny. She just like grabbed the film by the scruff of the neck.
Balls. Fuck.
But you can't forget they're shrunk for a lot of the things. There's like they don't seem to interact with anything small until they get to the other colony, and there's this.
He's got a harder for small.
He really wants Honey I Shrunk the Kids too.
Doing this thing if you're not going to like Honey I Shrunk the Kids it.
Budget.
I have a scorpion or something walk past them. You're like, oh shit, that's a bit big. But
it already lost money. It doesn't need to spend more money on CGI giant scorpions.
But apart from it becoming very boring, I still enjoyed it. I'd happily watch this again. I'm giving it a 6 as well.
6? My goodness. I thought Chris was going to go low there. Quick maths.
I'm not like Andy. I don't drop at 12 points when it's boring.
I like boring films. I've been picking them.
Oh shit! Speaking of which, it's me.
A 6 out of 10 officially for Downsizing, which is spot on. 2 6s and a 7. You can't really argue with that. 6 out of 10. A good film. We're now in the run of picks where we get 2 guesses at themes if we wish to use the 2 guesses. So we do get 2 guesses at Andy's. My first guess is it James Van Der Beek, Andy?
It's not James Van Der Beek.
That's not the theme you're going for.
It blew my mind as well. He turned off.
I did. When you said you were surprised, I was like, well, that's not the theme, but I've got it written down. Chris, what do you think Andy's theme is? Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and then Downsizing. Disappeared. Okay. My other guess is it's road trips. Is that the other one?
The road trip in this?
Well, they go to Norway. Trips.
Not that.
Right, okay.
Meta?
Facebook.
You gotta think like me, Chris. Don't just pull out random shit that I wouldn't think of.
Well, to be fair, if I think like you're going to do some random fucking arc that doesn't meet at all.
I only did that once that you didn't guess.
No, I can't think of anything yet.
I don't know. Nothing too clear yet. I feel like the third film is the key.
No, mad in.
He already said it wasn't that. I remember that from last week. Then I thought, is he throwing me off the scent? Is it actually Van Der Beek that he's doing? But it wasn't. So we go find out Andy's third choice in a few weeks' time. But next time it is Chris's selection to follow up Chris's first pick, which was Apocalypse Now. My God, what a week that was. What are you following that up with?
Brace yourselves. So, I don't think we've done a gangster film.
Oh God.
I think we have.
Yes.
What have we done? That's my point.
Rock and Roller? Rock and Roller is a gangster film. But Snatch. You picked Snatch.
Original gangster film.
Oh God.
You mean Americans, don't you?
Yeah.
You better not pick Godfather.
So
if you pick The Godfather,
that could be a theme. Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh God.
But it's not. As a director, I don't think we've done Martin Scorsese.
Oh God.
Oh, good shout. I don't think we have done Scorsese.
By any chance, Chris?
No, not Departed.
No.
It's Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, thank God.
I don't think I've seen it, actually.
Oh my God.
Right, okay. I've not watched it in a while, actually, and I've been due
Well,
watching because I've
it's
just...
the world's longest monologue in it.
I've seen bits
Does
of
it?
Is it that
Joe Pesci,
guy?
Why Am I Funny?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a monologue. But
He
anyway,
sits
yeah.
there for fucking 45 minutes. The film's talking.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
So I've seen
Goodfellas.
that. The rest of it.
I think you might actually be forcing me to move the pick that I moved the last time that I was going to pick. I think again, and I'm never ever going to get to pick this bloody film.
That's my favorite.
Anyway, right, Goodfellas. What's his face? Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, De Niro, Scorsese is director and all that sort of stuff. You've heard of Goodfellas. You've all got 7 days to find Goodfellas. Give it a watch.
I've got an accidental double theme on the go here as well.
Oh God.
Double theme. We'll see you next time for Goodfellas on the 10 Point Podcast.